Many talk about reincarnation. Some believe in it by faith, others dismiss it as fantasy. But there is a place where alleged memories of past lives have been studied with scientific rigor for over 50 years. It's not a cult, nor a group of New Age enthusiasts, but a university department. We are at the University of Virginia, where a psychiatrist, Ian Stevenson, and his successor, Jim Tucker, have collected thousands of cases, seeking verifiable evidence. And the work continues even today. Reincarnation, is it just a belief or a phenomenon to investigate? Science is trying to provide an answer. In this video, I'll show you the results of this investigation with concrete and documented examples. But before we begin, remember to subscribe to the channel if you appreciate my work and don't want to miss the next content. The belief in reincarnation is ancient, present in Hinduism, Buddhism, Spiritism, and even in some mystical currents of Christianity. But does modern science take this hypothesis seriously? In 1967, Dr. Ian Stevenson, then head of the Department of Psychiatry at the University of Virginia, published the book 20 Cases Suggestive of Reincarnation, in which he scientifically analyzed accounts of children who claim to remember past lives. No hypnosis, no regression, only spontaneous testimonies collected with rigor and method. Stevenson's work gave rise to what is now called the Division of Perceptual Studies, a university center dedicated to the study of phenomena related to consciousness, such as near-death experiences and indeed alleged memories of previous lives. The research does not start from a religious premise, nor does it aim to prove that reincarnation exists. Its objective is to verify if there are anomalous data, difficult to explain with neurosciences alone. Stevenson traveled to Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and South America, collecting over 2,500 cases of children between 2 and 7 years old, who spontaneously recounted precise details about people who lived before them. As a man of science, he sought to catalog and analyze these cases using an analytical and reproducible approach to minimize errors or inaccuracies according to the canons of the scientific method. There are many striking examples among those studied by Stevenson, and one certainly noteworthy is that of Imad Elawar, a 5-year-old Lebanese boy. Starting at age 2, he began to talk about a previous life in a village called Kabr Shamoun, several kilometers away from where he lived with his family. Imad spoke of a life as a mechanic, a wife named Jamila, and a sudden death in the hospital. Stevenson personally investigated. He accompanied the family to the mentioned village and managed to find a family whose deceased relative matched all the details provided by Imad. Imad declared 57 details about his previous life, and from Stevenson's verifications, 51 were correct, 4 partially correct, and only 2 were incorrect. A very high rate of accuracy, inexplicable according to Stevenson by coincidences or information received through normal channels. A more recent case, studied by Stevenson's successor, Dr. Jim Tucker, concerns an American child, James Leininger. From a very young age, James had recurring nightmares of a plane on fire. He spoke of being a World War II pilot, his plane being shot down by the Japanese. He said he took off from a ship called Natoma, and that a companion of his was named Jack Larson. His parents, initially skeptical, did some research, and they discovered that there really had been an aircraft carrier called USS Natoma Bay, and that a certain James Houston Jr., a pilot who actually died in action, had crashed under the same conditions described by the child. Jack Larson was indeed a member of his crew, and these are not isolated cases. There are thousands of them, some very famous, like that of a boy who claimed to have worked in Hollywood in a previous life, remembering names, film titles, and meticulous details that were later verified. In some cases, children also show birthmarks or scars in places corresponding to wounds or traumas of the deceased person they claim to have been. Stevenson documented over 200 cases with these inexplicable birthmarks. And studies continue even today, with new cases collected by the team at the Division of Perceptual Studies, which maintains the same methodological rigor as its founder. Let it be clear, neither Stevenson nor Tucker ever speak of definitive proofs of reincarnation. They speak of suggestive cases, anomalies that deserve study and further investigation. No mystical or religious theory, just scientific method and an open mind. The analysis of testimonies is rigorous and the criteria are precise. Memories must emerge spontaneously at an early age. They must be verifiable and documentable. There must be a clear geographical and cultural separation between the child and the person who lived before. In conclusion, the explanation might not even be reincarnation. But pure fantasy doesn't seem to suffice either. That's why this field continues to intrigue neuroscientists, psychologists, and philosophers of mind. Science does not yet have a definitive answer on what consciousness truly is. But investigating cases like these with method helps us ask the right questions. These accounts of children who seem to remember previous lives are not absolute proof, but they are anomalies, events that challenge our current knowledge. And true science does not ignore anomalies. It observes them, studies them, and seeks to understand them. After all, evolution, relativity, and quantum mechanics were also born because someone noticed that certain phenomena did not align with the dominant theories of the time. Modern science is advancing audacious hypotheses that attribute quantum processes to consciousness and free will, opening the doors to the view of consciousness not just as a product of the brain. According to the theory of consciousness as a non-local field proposed by scholars like Dean Radin, the mind might not be confined to the brain, but part of a vaster field, similar to how electricity is not generated by the light bulb, but only channeled. Others speak of quantum theories of consciousness, such as Penrose and Hameroff, according to which microtubules present in neurons would be able to generate coherent quantum states that, by collapsing, would give rise to free will. There are also some models, still minority but growing today, that hypothesize that consciousness is even the primary reality and not matter. In this context, Robert Lanza's theory of biocentrism and Federico Fagin's quantum fields theory are prominent examples. According to these views, reincarnation would not be so absurd. If consciousness is a kind of informational field not confined to the brain, upon the death of the physical body, it could continue to exist and even re-emerge in new forms. If you are interested in delving deeper into emerging theories about quantum consciousness, click on the link above. I made a dedicated video on my channel. These theories are not yet scientifically proven, to be clear, but they demonstrate one thing: the door is not closed. The mysteries about the nature of consciousness are still many, and science has much to discover. After all, the existential question that has always accompanied us is one: what are we really? Body, mind, or something more? Perhaps these children are offering us a fragment of an answer, and perhaps the time has come to listen to them with seriousness, rationality, but without prejudice, and with the respect due to every mystery that endures over time. And what do you think? Did you know about these studies? Have you ever heard of similar cases? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on consciousness, science, and mysteries investigated with rationality and an open mind. See you in the next video.